Hello and welcome to the two-man power trip of wrestling. I'm your host, JP John Poz. With me today, a very special guest, former WCW and WWF head writer, the former WCW World Heavyweight Champion, Mr. Vince Russo. Vince, welcome back. How you doing?
What is going on, John? What is this now? 9 years or something? You
Yes.
said, oh my God,
Yes.
bro, when are we going to move on to something else instead of stupid wrestling, bro? Real, John, with your talents, bro, and your wisdom and knowledge, we're wasting them on wrestling, bro.
You sound like my wife. When are you going to get over this stuff?
Yes, there you go. Yes.
It's been 40 years as a fan. So, I mean, geez.
Bro, listen, hey, bro, I got to tell you this. Bro, you probably know the name, the great R.D. Reynolds, who was a co-author of The Death of WCW. Bro, like you and like me, R.D. was an avid wrestling fan. R.D. was an avid AEW fan. And bro, about a little while ago, like I said, man, listen, bro, I've been a wrestling fan since 1968. And I'm done. Like, I have zero interest in the wrestling business. There's nothing that appeals to me. And RD came on our Batman show last week, and he announced the same thing. He said, I'm done with wrestling. He says it's not what I grew up on. It's something completely different. And he was an avid AEW fan, and he said, I'm done. I need something else to find. I think there are a lot of people that feel that way, bro. And, obviously it's not us, like, we're not involved in the wrestling business, like, bro, I look back, and John, same with you. It's like, I know you're a Giant fan.
Yep.
And they shit the bed. Yep. I'm a San Francisco Giant fan, and even though, the last couple of years they shit the bed in many losing seasons, like, I'm still a Giants fan, because I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know if it's, at least I'm kind of still seeing effort on the field. Like, I don't know what it is, but I'm still a Giants fan. But with wrestling, bro, there's just not. I could care less that The Rock came back. I could care less what the WrestleMania main event is. I could care less who wins the Royal Rumble. There's just nothing there for me anymore, bro.
Wow, it seems like right now in Triple H or whatever, the WWE machine, it said it's the biggest year they ever had financially.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Good for them. I mean,
that doesn't interest you?
Yeah, no, bro. I get interested. Like, I'll get interested in, like, certain stories that really have to do with like, I'm not interested in anything pertaining to product. Nothing. But like when a guy like Kevin Dunn leaves, I'll talk about that, bro. I worked with Kevin. I will talk about what I think that means to the business of the WWE and stuff like that. So, like, I'm always interested in those behind the scenes stories, but I'm just talking about as far as product goes. Like, I just have zero interest.
Now, with the Kevin Dunn thing, it was interesting because Mark Shapiro, the guy who was one of the bosses for TKO, basically was not making fun of production people, but kind of took a shot. This was, I don't know if you saw this a few months ago in a press conference. He goes, so many production people don't realize we can cut costs here and cut costs there. They're so attached to certain things. Oh, I got to have this camera, got to have that. And I'm thinking to myself, WWE is the best production ever, pretty much, and Dunn has been the spearhead of it. And the guy TKO, who's now taking over, is saying, "Oh, we're going to cut some of your production back." You think that's why he basically said, "I'm retired. I'm not dealing with this"?
I think, bro. First of all, let me make one thing perfectly clear. Okay, Kevin Dunn was as valuable to the WWE as Vince McMahon was, without a shadow of a doubt. Period. End of story, man. When Kevin Dunn, when Kevin Dunn's father was working for Vince, Kevin Dunn was pulling cables, and he's been in this forever. I really think, like, and I don't have any knowledge or anything, John, I really think it was a loyalty thing. You know what I'm saying? He was very loyal to Vince. bro, listen, man, Kevin Dunn is a millionaire 10 times over. So with Vince gone and, then maybe they want to make some changes and whatnot, bro, at Kevin Dunn's age, and with what he's, with what he's done in the business, leaving his mark, I think it was a perfect time for him to say, you know what, I'm done.
And if you look at it, my God, how much stock did he have? I was trying to figure out how much money it would be, but Jesus, I mean, it's like tens of millions of dollars of stock.
Yeah, bro. I was saying, like, there's no doubt in my mind, Kevin Dunn, like, bro, he's got to have $100 million. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind.
With him leaving, do you see any changes, or it's just he's a cog in the wheel and they just keep rolling, and like what happened?
Bro, I think I think slowly but surely with Endeavor, and I've been saying this for years and years and years and years. I think you're going to see that good old boy network become dismantled one person at a time, because in a lot of ways that dude was right. It is archaic. And they've been doing it a certain way, like for just so many years. We always talk about the wrestling bubble. So I do, bro. I do think in 2024 you're going to see a lot of changes. I really do.
Now Vince is still around, but I guess he's just not the head of creative. Do you see him skedaddling altogether? Because he sold a big chunk of stock too at one point.
Man, bro, I kind of feel like he already has skedaddled. I mean that's how I kind of feel. And bro, I think a lot of that, like, forget about change in hands and all that, bro. I just think a lot of that is age, man. I mean, John, I'm about to be 63. At 63, I can't do podcasting like I was doing podcasting 10 years ago. I mean, I can't. And, obviously I'm in a position where, I still need to work. Obviously Vince McMahon doesn't need to work. So I just really think age, if not anything else, is caught up with him.
Does the fact that they had the biggest year ever, does that do anything as far as like, I don't know, pique your interest of like, wow, how are they doing this? Like, how are they making so much money nowadays and with kind of less people watching than back in the day? I know obviously inflation helps, but does that like pique your interest? Like, man, their business is like kicking ass right
bro,
now.
because bro, I've been saying this since I started, podcasting 10 years ago, bro, with all these streaming services and media outlets, bro, content is king, man. And if you're a company that just keeps churning out new content, and not only that you've got 50 years of history of content in the bank. I mean, bro, that's what they are. I mean, bro, listen, I'm convinced, and this is why I don't care about the product anymore, because the reality is neither do they. I mean, ratings, bro, if you care about ratings, you're not going to kayfabe The Rock on your show. Ratings don't matter to them anymore. Good stories don't matter to them anymore. Characters don't matter. They're content creators. I mean, that's what they are, bro. And they're making big deals with these companies that want their content, no matter what it is. So you're just going to see much more of the same going forward this year. They're just going to be churning out content, really not caring how good that content is.
Crazy. MSG, I actually went to the show that CM Punk returned 10 years later, wrestling. 16,000 people was sold out. The merch stand looked like it was ransacked by rioters. Like, it was crazy, like the amount of people that were buying stuff there. I just was like, wow, is it a boom or something? Like, where did this come from all of a sudden? I know obviously Punk has like a cult following, he's super popular, but MSG last year didn't sell as well, obviously. And he returns and all of a sudden the business, and they sold the most. It was the highest grossing event, non-televised in WWE history. So where did these fans come from all of a sudden? Were they always there? They're dying for something?
I think it definitely is a Punk thing, man. I think he does have a following. I think, you're also looking at, like how long was he in AEW? Am I going to wait till the next time to see CM Punk where there may not be no next time? So I certainly think, bro, like he definitely drew a lot of people to that show because, you know, he does have a following. Wouldn't have been any different if you would have advertised Stone Cold or if you would have advertised The Undertaker. I think you would have got that same type of crowd, you know, because these are legendary people. Man, I still remember, bro. I still remember, you know, many years ago, like I flew out to San Francisco to watch a couple of games and stuff, bro. I remember seeing Tony Gwynn, you know, like play the last season in his career. You know, you want to see things like that. There's no question about it. But bro, I'm also not going to deny they've got a loyal Mark audience, bro. Very, very loyal, that no matter, you know, how low the ratings go, no matter how many people stop watching, bro, they're going to continue to watch that show and support that show no matter what. It's very much like AEW. But you know, again, bro, you know, like I said, I look at people like myself and RD and people like that have just been watching this forever, and it's just not the same, man, you know.
It's not for you anymore, if you will. Yeah.
No,
It's like
no.
me with those Marvel movies, man. They could be good and whatever, it's just not for me.
Yeah.
And I love comic book stuff, but I just can't stand those movies.
I was the same way, bro. I think I saw like the first two Iron Mans, and I think I saw the first Avengers. And then after that, I was like, okay, like how many more of these do I need to see?
Yeah, there's like 27 of them or something. It's like nuts. It's
Yeah,
way
no,
too
bro,
many.
it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah.
Do you think Punk leaving AEW is kind of like the nail in the coffin there? Remember the whole disciplinary committee and he was fired and all that stuff? Man, that came to bite them in the ass. 2 months later, the guy sold out MSG and did the best money maker MSG ever had for WWE. And, you know, Hogan, Bruno, Austin, I mean, Rock, all these guys were before that. And it's Punk leaving for whatever reason, infused so much money into that place for a house show. And they kind of left money on the table. What do you think about AEW, that being like the death knell for them?
Bro, I don't know if there'll ever be a death knell because Tony Khan has endless money. See,
Yeah, it's true.
that's the thing, bro. We always have to look at AEW, you know, with a grain of salt because money is not part of the equation. You know, like you and I, John, we look at everything, you know, from a business point of view and making money. That's not part of the equation with him. This guy's a billionaire. He's got endless amount of dollars. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. Bro, he just wants to book a wrestling company. So I don't think there is a death knell. I don't think there'll ever be a death knell. I think he'll continue to go on. Bro, I think 2024 is going to be the identical year for AEW. You know, the number's going to stay about 800,000 people. He's going to bring 1 billion more people into the company. It's not going to make a difference. They're going to do a great show in Wembley Stadium where they're going to make a lot of money. And that's basically going to be the gist of it. But the reality of it is, as long as he is booking a wrestling company, the dude's going to be happy.
When you look at AEW right now, the ratings obviously are not doing good. Some shows, as far as attendance wise, are not doing good. That doesn't, you're saying like that doesn't matter. He's not looking at the bottom line, so to speak.
Not at all. Not at all, bro. Bro, it would be like if you bought the New York Giants. All of a sudden, tomorrow you came into a lot of money. You bought the New York Giants. Not only did you buy them, bro, you are now coaching them. And bro, no matter what their record is, no matter how good or bad they play, you are happy being coach of the Giants. And that's all that matters. And business is just going to go on as usual.
To me, they need some sort of, and he went nuts. Remember, he went nuts on Disco when Disco said he needed a reboot. I do feel like they need something, or a new booker or whatever. They need some sort of reboot, whether internally or on TV. Do you think so? Because it just seems like whatever they're doing is just not working right now.
Yeah, obviously, bro. It's like, listen, man, I saw it with my own two eyes. You know, the greatness of Vince McMahon was the ability to hire the best people around him and let them do their jobs. And when you look back at the Attitude Era, bro, you had Kevin Dunn, you had Jim Johnson, You had JR was, talent relations. He let Vince Russo, write his television, and he left Vince alone. He left me alone. So he hired the best people around them and let them do their job. Tony's not going to do that, bro. He literally wants to be the centerpiece of this company. He wants to write the shows. He wants to be at the head of the table of these scrums. This is what he wants, bro. So he's not. Bro, come on, man. He had Eric Bischoff there for a couple of weeks. If you ever wanted to pick anybody's brain, you've got Eric right there. And what did that turn into? That turns into now he hates Eric Bischoff. He's never, ever, ever, bro, going to hire the people that he desperately needs and let them do their jobs, because that's the job that he wants.
When you look at it too, like as far as like what he needs to do, is that like an ego thing, or is that just he's just such a like fan or whatever? He's just so into
Bro,
it.
ego has
Yeah.
everything to do with it, because bro, even after everything that happened with CM Punk, why is he still head of the table at those scrums? There's no reason for him to be there whatsoever, bro. And the reason he's there is because of ego. There is no other reason why he's there.
Did you like the sunglasses and wig at the last one?
Bro, like, he wants to be a character, bro. He wants to be a character. He wants to be front and center. He was comparing himself to freaking Ted Turner. Bro, the funny thing is, I don't know if people remember this. When Ted Turner bought the Atlanta Braves, John, he actually went in a dugout and managed
yes, that was insane.
Game.
Yeah.
A game. Can you imagine if Ted Turner would have managed the entire season? That's what you're getting with AEW, bro. That's exactly what you're getting. The same thing.
That was nuts. Obviously, billionaire Ted it was crazy, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, that was. Oof.
I mean, Ted realized, like, okay, I own this team and it's great, but I don't have the tools to manage this team. Like I said, bro, one of my pet peeves has always been in professional wrestling. Not anybody can wrestle, but everybody can write. Oh, bro, everybody can be a professional. Oh, well, you're seeing today how everybody can write.
Not true at all. I mean, it's just crazy. And he was answering in that scrum was funny. He was answering like a dead serious question with the wig and the glasses on. Like that was crazy.
That was a that was a parody of the wrestling business. I've been saying this all along. The wrestling business had become a parody of himself. And then you look at that scene. It was a parody. It was a parody of a billionaire crazy owner at a press conference, dressed up like an imbecile. It was exactly what I've been saying it is for the last 10 years.
I think he should have been the devil when they revealed that storyline. I think that would have been great.
I agree. I definitely agree with you, bro. It would have been better than what they did.
Oof. That whole storyline was, I know you probably weren't watching or paying attention.
I don't watch it yet.
I followed it for months. I mean, it was terrible. Oh man, really, really bad. But the thing is, with Disco and the irrelevant parasite thing, I like to poke fun at Disco and stuff. I'm sure you do too, and so does everybody. But I was thinking, I was like, wow, irrelevant parasite. The guy literally bled, sweat, tears for the wrestling business, traveled millions of miles on the road. He actually didn't buy himself into the business. This guy trained. And he's getting into the business the hard way. And hey, he's probably getting ribbed by the Steiner brothers. You know what I mean? Oh, the typical stuff of when you get in the business and this and that. I was like, wow, that was kind of a shot from a guy who paid his way in with his dad's money.
Well, bro, an extension of that, John, there are 3 reasons why I'm no longer interested. I did a little YouTube yesterday. There are 3 things which have totally just separated me from wrestling. And I don't think there's nothing they could do that would make me ever care about the product again. And I'll tell you what the 3 things are. Number 1, bro, the tribalism of the fans is absolutely pathetic. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing and it's pathetic because, John, you freaking know, man, when you're sitting there on Sunday, and the Giants blow that game, you are cutting the promo of all promos, even though it is your team. That's a real sports fan, bro. We all know Philly fans and Red Sox fans. Bro, when you start calling for the manager's head, like, that's a real fan. The wrestling business has turned into, bro, if you are in WWE camp, they do nothing wrong. And not only does the WWE do nothing wrong, AEW does do everything wrong. And then vice versa. You're an AEW fan, bro. They don't do anything wrong. You're a CM Punk fan. He doesn't do anything wrong. It's freaking embarrassing, bro, the way that the wrestling marks have become. And quite frankly, bro, I don't want to be a part of that because it is embarrassing. Number two is something you just mentioned, John. John, you're a very, very different animal, and you've been doing this for 9 years. And you clearly know, what your role is and what your mission statement is. And you sit there and I am a fan of the professional wrestling business. And you say, I've been a fan for 40 years. So what you're doing is you are doing a wrestling podcast from a fan perspective, and you understand that. And that's great. That is absolutely great. The problem is you've got all these dirt sheet writers now, bro, the Saps and the Housemans and all these people that, because of these scrums and because of Tony Khan letting them in and Triple H letting them in, these people now believe they are part of the business. And John, anybody knows, man, I saw the great, Gene Washington just got hired as the Angels manager. Bro, I saw a great interview with Gene Washington where he really talked about, bro, there is a tremendous amount of difference between knowledge and experience. They're two completely different things, John. You've got knowledge in wrestling. I got knowledge in baseball. Do you really have experience in wrestling? No. Do I have experience in baseball? No. We know our roles. These guys have convinced themselves now that they are a part of the business to the point of, you saw what just happened with Nick Houseman and Jericho. That's the same thing, Jericho, Disco, and Tony Khan. Same exact thing. So now you've got these wrestling journalists who have convinced themselves they're part of the business, and now they're taking shots at people that actually left their blood, sweat, and tears on the table, like you said. As a journalist, that is embarrassing to me, and I don't want to be a part of that. And John, the third thing to me is really the product. Bro, Dutch Mintel always uses the saying, good little hand. That's what Dutch always used to say, good little hand. And I understood what a good little hand was. A good little hand was a good worker, a good wrestler. A good little hand will get baby faces over. A good little hand will get heels over. And you need your good little hands on the roster. The only problem is, bro, in 2024, the good little hands are now in the main event. That's the problem. So when you've got casual fans turning on wrestling and seeing, Dominic Mysterio, not to pick on Dominic because he's not the only one, but Dominic Mysterio, like in the main event of a wrestling match, you've got casual fans like me saying, wait a minute, man, these ain't pro wrestlers. Like, where are the Hogans and the Halls and the Nashes and the Goldbergs? So the good little hands now have literally made it to main event level. And that's a big thing, bro, that have really, really, turned off fans like me. So you combined all three of those things. Man, bro, there's really not too much appealing. Like I said, John, you want to talk about business. You want to talk about what they made at the Garden. You want to talk about Kevin Dunn leaving. You want to talk about stuff like that. Fine. But the actual product, the team they're putting on the field, wow, bro, I don't know of anything that would ever get me back.
So no interest in The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania then
None at
for
all.
WrestleMania 40.
Zero. I won't watch WrestleMania.
No. Do you ever watch WrestleMania?
No, bro. I swear to God, since I left the WWE, I watched one WrestleMania show, and it was only because, one of these sites paid me to go out there for personal appearances and stuff. It was the one that was outside with the NWO and Sting and all that.
Oh, yeah, WrestleMania 31. Yeah.
Yeah, it was that one, because what happened was they flew me out there, to make a personal appearance and all this and that. And like literally, bro, the day of WrestleMania, I was sitting in my hotel room. So I'm like, I might as well. And I watched it on my computer. Bro, that's the only WrestleMania I watched since Austin Michaels.
Wow. So you went 17 years basically between manias. Wow.
Yep, that's the only WrestleMania I've watched since I wrote my last one.
I thought Rock might get you back interested in it.
Not interested at all.
I did think that was a good promo by him when he said, he goes, "Oh, I'm going to go to the restaurant." And everyone's like, where is he going with this? What the hell's he talking about going to the restaurant? He goes, "Where am I going to sit? Going to sit in the booth? Going to sit at the bar? I like the bar. It's a good spot." And he goes, "Maybe I'll sit at the head of the table." And then everyone went nuts. So I feel like I thought that would have got you intrigued a little bit, that he was teasing his fight with his cousin. So that even The Rock can't bring you back. Damn. No one's
bro, here's the thing. You got to understand, I am a writer and a storyteller at heart. Like, here's a perfect example, John, to steal a phrase from Disco. I'm watching Dave Chappelle on Netflix last night with my wife, and I just keep turning to my wife and saying, my God, what a storyteller. What a story. What an amazing, amazing storyteller. So that's what I'm all about, storytelling and characters. So, bro, look at this situation with The Rock. You got a guy that hasn't been wrestling for how many years now?
Oof.
Rock, how many has it been?
I think, God, 10 years probably. Yeah, I think it was WrestleMania 29, I think. Yeah.
Okay, say 10 years. You got a guy that hasn't wrestled in 10 years, and you got another guy that's never on TV. So, like, what am I interested in? Like, there's no story. There's, they're literally taking a guy that's never on TV and a guy that hasn't wrestled in 10 years, and they're putting them together in a ring. And like I said, for me, who's just all about the story, there's no appeal there for me. I mean, basically, at the end of the day, for the job that I do, all I need to know is who goes over. Like, that's all I need to know is who goes over, and I certainly don't have to watch it to find out who goes over.
I think what they should do, I think, is who's the head of the table. Is it The Rock? Is Roman? Bring back every living Samoan family member. Have a thing. Have a whole, I don't know, trial or whatever you want to say. Have a group meeting or whatever, a reunion. That would be kind of cool to bring back
the whole
cool. Family.
That would be very, very cool. Yes.
Because I just thought it was interesting when they originally started this head of the table thing. Remember, Afa and Sika came out, they put the lay on Roman Reigns. It was during COVID, but I thought that was great. I was like, that's so cool. It's like, okay, they're actually saying like the family lineage, the history. Like, I like all that kind of stuff. I
agree with you 1000%. That stuff would be cool. I mean, that stuff wouldn't get me back interested in the product, but I would enjoy that stuff. But again, John, they're not going to do that because they're content creators. I'm telling you, bro, they don't care how. Bro, if you cared about how many people watched every week, you're not going to kayfabe The Rock. You certainly are not going to let people not know that The Rock is going to be on the show tonight. They're content creators, bro. That's what they've become.
Do you think that a part of that is because The Rock is like, I'm not sure if I can make it that day? Is that play into it too, that they don't know if he's going to come or not? Because it seems like they kind of bow down to him sometimes. It seems like, hey, I'm in the area. All right, we'll put him on the show.
Absolutely not.
So you didn't, or not that you didn't like it or didn't say it, but the Jinder Mahal thing I thought was funny because the fans were so disappointed that he was the former champion. And he came out, and then The Rock came out after that. Then they got the big pop.
Yeah, I mean, they basically set everybody up that way. That Jinder comes out and everybody, I mean that's the way they set it up. But if it's me, who was all about the ratings,
Yeah, you promote The Rock and show
Of
up. Yeah.
course, man. You know, of course, even if what you said was true, you know, he's coming that day, you know, so that day you go all out on social media and whatnot. But to kayfabe him tells you they don't care about how many people watch the show.
And hey, Michigan, Alabama had 28
Right.
million people watching them that
Right.
day, that same day. Yeah.
Right. But bro, I swear to God, I had to ask myself this question when they kayfabe The Rock. They are so in the wrestling bubble, bro. Seriously, John, did they even know there was a college football game on that day?
Ooh, God, I hope so.
I do too, but that's the question I ask, because have you not advertised The Rock?
Right. Because that game was at such a weird time frame that it
Right.
basically was a part of most of Raw. Just a weird timing of it. It started at
Yeah.
5, and then halftime is God knows. Halftime felt like it was like an hour long. So basically, it's going to end up going to 9, 9:30, 10 o'clock. I mean, it's going to go, and then there's a game after that,
Yep.
Washington, Texas, that also. So it's literally back to back and eats up all of Raw. So I hope they were paying attention to that. Didn't
Who
seem like it,
knows?
but you're right. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
As we wind it down, we head towards the finish here, Vince. Just want to mention some TV show that I'm watching because I feel like you were into TV, obviously way more than you're into wrestling. I just started a show called A Murder at the End of the World. It's on Hulu. I think that might pique your interest. I know it seemed very good. The writing's very good. I'm only a couple episodes in, but it just seems very interested.
Who's
Is there?
who's in that?
Oh, I don't know who she is. She's a good actress. Damn it, I don't
Okay,
know
so
her name.
it's not the Julia Roberts one.
No, no. Clive Owen is the star. He's kind of like the. You think he's the villain, but we don't really know
Okay,
who he is. He's
tell
a
me
great
what the name
actor.
of it is again, bro, because I will watch it
A Murder at the End of the World.
on Hulu.
Yep.
I will definitely check that out, bro. I will
Any
definitely check
shows
that.
that I need to check out
What now?
from you? Any shows that I need to check out from you, like that you would recommend?
Bro, I just started watching, and bro, it's the simplest, it's the simplest action Arnold Rocky gimmick. But bro, this is what I hate about like the excuses. When we hear wrestling is evolved. Okay, bro. So wrestling is evolved, which equates to there's more wrestling on the shows and no characters and storylines. That's what wrestling has evolved mean. Meanwhile, bro, television shows are the same. There are still characters and storylines. Television has not changed. Only wrestling has changed. But bro, this is like the simplest of simplest things. I just started watching the show on Prime called Reacher.
Oh, I love that show. Yes.
Bro, bro, as simple as that is, you got a main event character that's cool as shit, that you want to be. Little by little, you find out pieces of his background, but he really is a mystery. And it's so freaking simple. But yet here I am, hooked on that show because I love the character. Whose ass is he going to kick next, and how is he going to kick it?
Yep.
Bro, nothing has changed in television but professional wrestling.
I love that show. That show's great, and I love Surinder Swan, his love interest in season 2.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee. And I was just
I haven't.
watching an
Oh, I'm
episode.
not even into season 2 yet, bro.
She's the
I
love
just
interest. I love
started.
her.
I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
started, bro. So she's not the cop in season 1.
No, she's in season 2. She's like the love interest over. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
But just
I
the
love that show.
basic kick-ass Arnold Rock with a little bit of a story, and I'm in, bro.
That I absolutely love that show. He's awesome. Alan Ritchson, whatever his name. He looks like the
Yeah.
Ultimate Warrior. Like he's just some huge jacked, but he's a good actor.
He's great. It's great, bro. So yeah, man, there's still some really good TV out there. That's why they're always like the WWE, not the WWE, AEW. Tony Khan's claim to fame is like they're always number one in cable. Well, bro, could that have anything to do with their shit on cable? Like seriously, bro. Do you watch it? Who watches any cable shows? All the good shows are on Hulu, Amazon Prime, everything that you talk about. So he's boasting that they're number one in the night in cable. Meanwhile, there's crap on cable, bro.
And Fargo is a great show, which is available on cable, but it's on streaming too. I think most people watch it on Hulu. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's one of those things where I don't know. I feel like streaming has every good show.
Yeah,
like
it
it's just
does.
crazy.
It absolutely does, bro. Without a shadow of a doubt. Yep.
So, Vince, give us some plugs where everybody can find you and what you got going on.
Yeah, I'm going to plug one thing, guys. Please, if you've never been a brand of, if you've never been a subscriber of my Patreon, you can go there right now and get a free week of the brand. It will cost you absolutely nothing. A lot of people have been taking advantage of it, and it's great. All you got to do is go to patreon.com/Russo TWC, and you can get a full week, all the shows of the brand, absolutely free.
Love it. Vince, thank you so much for all the time today. Really appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, John. And congratulations to you, my friend.
Thank you.